What's up guys, I guess it's time for your weekly dose of urban news. Hit that subscribe button so you never miss an update, and as always a massive thanks to my awesome Patreon supporters and everyone else who keeps this going. The German city of Mainz has decided to purchase 22 new trams from the Czech company Škoda for over 100 million euros. These new low-floor trams will be about 43.5 meters long and have 5 double doors for easy boarding. Each tram can carry 258 passengers, which is about 100 passengers more than the current models it is to replace. And the city is also working on the development of its tram network. From June 2024, a new tram connection between Alexanderplatz and Münsterplatz is being built in the city. This approximately 300 meter stretch should relieve the congested Mainz central station and reduce travel times. The new track is expected to be operational by the end of 2025. A new tram route is also planned to connect the historic city center with the Neustadt district. The proposed route will run from Schillerplatz via Ludwigstraße, Schusterstraße and Große Bleiche to Rheinallee, a decision that was finalized a few weeks ago. Construction is scheduled to begin in 2029. From January 2026, the Australian state of Victoria will introduce free public transport for all children under 18 years to reduce cost of living pressures for families across the state. Eligible young people will receive a special card, giving them unlimited access to trains, trams, buses and regional coaches across Victoria. The card remains valid until the child turns 18, replacing the annual $755 student pass. Transport Minister Gabriel Williams said the plan delivers real cost savings, making life easier for working parents. And also, she emphasized that lowering transportation costs and reducing the need to drive will reduce daily stress. In addition, young people will have better access to part-time jobs, sports, and social activities. The free public transport initiative is expected to cost $318 million over 4 years. Despite the investment, the government insists that the benefits outweigh the costs, as it will promote equality and support working families. Meanwhile, Alstom and SEPTA are finalizing the design phase of 130 Citadis trams for Philadelphia, which are being prepared for production at the plant in Hornell, New York. And this is an important milestone in the broader capital renewal of Philadelphia's transportation system. By the way, the newest Philadelphia streetcars look like this, so this will be a really remarkable improvement. The project started in May 2023 and has already finalized most of its supplier agreements. Alstom plans to start production in 2026 following the completion of the third and final design review in the fall of 2025. As a federally funded project, SEPTA must meet Buy American requirements, which means that more than 70% of the components must be produced in the country and only a few parts are sourced from international suppliers. So Alstom has already developed a localized supply chain, established a project office in Philadelphia and partnered with US companies to ensure compliance. The Finnish government has announced conversion of its railway network from the Russian gauge to European standard to strengthen the country's integration into the European Union and NATO. The changes presented by Transport Minister Lulu Ranne at the Nordic Ministerial Meeting in Helsinki are a response to the need to improve military mobility and regional security, especially in light of Finland's NATO membership and the growing tensions with Russia. The project, which will begin in the north of the country near Oulu, aims to remove technical obstacles to transportation of troops and cargo between Finland, Sweden and Norway. The government is expected to make a final decision by July 2027, with construction beginning around 2032. The European Union is expected to cover up to 50% of the planning costs and 30% of the construction costs. This transition, which cost billions of euros, euros, affects over 9,200 kilometers of tracks, and take decades to complete, symbolizes a geopolitical and a strategic shift for Finland, which will fully join the European infrastructure with this decision. The next story is also about Finland, and although it is not exactly a news story, it is definitely worth mentioning. In the city of Mainz, there is a 75 megawatt data center that provides heat to about 2,500 homes. By the way, until 2022 this data center looked like this, and as far as I understand, it still belongs to the Russians, just under a different brand. So the country is planning to change the railway gauge because of the risk of Russian aggression, and at the same time Russian data center is working smoothly. I wonder if government services also use it. But anyway, this approach, pioneered by Finnish engineer Ari Kurvi, has evolved over the years from small projects to large infrastructure partnerships. In essence, they decided not just to release the heat generated by data centers into the atmosphere, but to use it to heat homes, which is goddamn smart. The most ambitious project so far is a huge data center campus that Microsoft is building near Helsinki in Espoo and Kirkkonummi. Once commissioned, this cluster is expected to provide 40% of Espoo's heating needs for about 100,000 homes. This initiative has already led to the closure of a coal-fired power plant and is expected to significantly reduce the city's carbon dioxide emissions by 2030. The Scandinavian region's natural advantages, cold climate, large amount of renewable energy sources, and widely developed district heating infrastructure make it ideal for such innovations. Electricity prices are also quite low, making the region attractive to technology companies. Meanwhile, Stadler has signed a contract with Swedish rail operator Arlanda Express to supply 7 new flirt trains. The new fleet will run between Arlanda Airport and Stockholm Central Station from the end of 2029, offering over 50% more seats than the current trains. The 373 million euros contract also includes a 15 years of maintenance. By the way, this line is currently operating Alstom X3 trains, which, although they look pretty good, will soon be 30 years old as they were built in 1999. The new 165-meter-long trains will accommodate 323 seated passengers and accelerate to 200 kilometers per hour. The British government has acquired a 50% stake in the future redevelopment of Euston HS2 station. Meanwhile, the future of Euston station is still unclear, and although the government has approved the cost of the tunnels from Aldo Common to Euston, how and when the station will be built is still uncertain. In addition to the redevelopment of Euston station, which includes about 60 acres of land planned for offices and 2,000 new homes, the joint venture also includes several other projects across London and one project in Birmingham. By the way, maybe that's a wrong impression, but for some reason news from the UK often sounds to me like something great is coming, but nothing is clear, so let's continue to observe. The World Bank approved a $250 million loan for the São Paulo Metro Line 2 extension project. So Line 2, also known as a Green Line, will be extended by 8 kilometers and 8 stations from Vila Prudente station to the Peña neighborhood, located northeast of the city center, and will include the construction of a maintenance depot. This extension will make Line 2 the longest in the network, with a total length of 23 kilometers. It will also reduce travel time for residents of the eastern zone and help redistribute passenger traffic across the network. Once completed, the Green Line will be able to carry about 1.2 million passengers daily, significantly improving mobility in the eastern zone of São Paulo. In general, São Paulo Metro network has been operating since 1974 and now consists of 6 lines with a total length of 104 kilometers. And that's all the news for this time. By the way, if anyone is interested, I add links to the sources in the video description. So thanks for watching and see you in the next videos. The proposed route will run from Schillerplatz via Ludwigstraße, Schusterstraße and Große Bleiche to Rheinallee, a decision that was finalized a few weeks ago.